Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the BCW Mayhem New Orleans pre-show. Tonight's episode, as I said, we're live from New Orleans, Louisiana at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. We are off the heels of BCW Fight Night 6 that took place down in Miami. Crazy night. The night was filled with a lot of carnage, back and forth action. People were leaving with their faces busted open, and we have crowned two new champions at BCW Fight Night 6, and that was the new combat heavyweight champion David Pope, and also a brand new BCW classic champion Ghost Edwards. But tonight's episode of Mayhem will feature the European Championship Tournament, round one for the Mayhem brand. On Rampage 106, we had round one for them, where we saw Trey Kakoa and also Justin Massacre advance to round two. And now tonight we're going to see who will advance to round two on the Mayhem side, and that's between Vernon Quinn versus Jacob Baker and Kabuki Warrior versus off against the newly crowned classic champion Ghost Edwards. So now the winners from tonight's episode will go to Rampage 107 when we're going to be live in Nashville. The winners of tonight will go there and will compete against each other. And also Trey Kakoa will go against Justin Massacre on Rampage 107, and then the contract signing will happen on the following episode of Mayhem, and then we will have the finalists meet at Summerfest in Barcelona. So it's it's going to be an action-packed night. We got two of those matches. We got tag team division matchup. We have the Insiders going against the Samoan Dynasty. And then we have a 10-woman gauntlet eliminator match that will change the career of one woman to go to Barcelona to face off against Alicia Landis for the BCW Women's Championship in Barcelona. We have BCW International Champion CJ Frost, who's also in action against Damian Briggs. He's also going to address the crowd regarding the entire Craig Mack situation, since Craig Mack is a part of the Venom Club. BCW champion Jeffrey Albritton is also going to address the crowd regarding the same exact thing, since he is also a part of Punk's Not Dead, PND. And also for the first time since the events that happened at the end of Bound for Greatness, the older brother of Mr. Craig Mack, Jeff Sylvia, will be live tonight to address the crowd and to break his silence on it, as we're all wondering what he has to say, what happened. Well, the people are looking for answers. The entire locker room is looking for answers. But let's begin off with the European Championship matches, right? So we have Ghost Edwards going against Kabuki Warrior, and we have Vernon Quinn going against Jacob Baker, one half of the Warriors of Punk, who are affiliated with PND. Quinn versus Baker, right? Both men, talented in the ring. They have the charisma, everything. If I'm going to have to choose on this match to advance, either men could go to the next round. Quinn has speed, Baker is power. I think what's going to have to happen is that Vernon Quinn's going to have to keep up his speed in order to get a little bit ahead of Baker in order to secure a victory tonight, in order to advance. Baker He's a former tag team champion. He's a former champion everywhere else. I honestly think that for this one, I think I'm coming to a stalemate on who I want to choose to win. It could go either way. For my opinion, I might have to go with Jacob Baker. Jacob Baker, he's just power, and I feel like if Vernon Quinn doesn't keep up the speed, Baker's going to catch him, and that's going to be it. The other European Championship match that we have on the card tonight, Kabuki Warrior versus Ghost Edwards. This matchup is a big ass question mark because both men are in EPW, KCW, DPW, and other promotions, and I'm sure they had countless matches all over. For them to do one-on-one here tonight to advance in the championship tournament where it matters, both men are going to bring each other to the limit, and they're going to rock the house. Kabuki Warrior is a former national champion. Ghost Edwards just became BCW Classic champion. I honestly think Edwards might get the edge here to advance. But Kabuki on the other side, just going off of his matchup over at Fight Night a couple of nights ago against Buster Anderson, who holds the Money in the Bank contract. Buster Anderson is a tough son of a bitch. So for Kabuki Warrior to come up with the win over Buster Anderson, it's huge. So it could go either way. As I said, for match one, now I'm even more complex at trying to figure out who I believe is going to win. Ghost Edwards, he's also tough as well too. But I'm going to go with Edwards on the win here. If that was my choice. Tag team division wise, we got the insiders. Eric Blackwell and Damian Porter versus off against the Samoan Dynasty. Samoan Dynasty, over the last week, they went against the Warriors of Punk, Jacob Baker and Damian Shelley. They were at the BCW live event in Phoenix. Match ended out in a countout. They ran it back up at Fight Night in a tag team Extreme Rules 2 out of 3 falls. Samoan Dynasty got the victory on that, and so now tonight they're going against the insiders, Eric Blackwell, who is a former combat heavyweight champion here in BCW. Blackwell and Porter, they are undefeated all over. They're undefeated here in BCW. Samoan Dynasty and the insiders, that's going to be a tough one, but I'm going to have to go with the insiders on this one. I just don't see the Samoan Dynasty defeating a team like Blackwell and Porter right now at the way that how well that they're working together. Going to the 10 women elimination gauntlet match, that's going to be surprising. We got Sophia Ray Dogg, Amaya Bryant, Angel Bryant, Jennifer Barham, the mother of Alicia Landis, who's a women's champion, the women's national champion, Kavea Frost. We got Reagan Anderson. We got Angelina Renee. We got the Savage Queen, Sylvia Knight. We got Rose Kakoa, and we got Safina of the Samoan Dynasty. These women are going to be battling to punch their ticket to Summerfest, Barcelona, Spain, to battle for the women's championship internationally. There is just a lot going on in this matchup right here. 10 women battling to eliminate each other. It's a gauntlet, you know. If I have a couple of picks here. I have Angelina Renee as a pick because she's tough. She's all about wanting to put her heart and soul up into the middle of the ring. She's been putting in the effort. She's been putting in the work. Also, and I forgot to mention, we have the women's national champion in there as well, Kavea Frost. I think Kavea might win as well too, since she's been on the roll here of winning the national championship. She's been winning matches here, matches there. She just won the Fatal 4-Way Elimination Extreme Rules match at Fight Night 6 a couple of nights ago, going against the other 3 women who are holding titles here. She beat out Alicia Landis. She beat out the international heavyweight champion, Flawless Diva, and she beat the BCW Women's World Heavyweight Champion, Britt Graves. So, Kavea Frost is the front runner on my picks, followed by Angelina Renee, and then the third one. For the third one, it's I'm gonna go with one of the Bryant sisters, because they are just straight up brutality. Straight up brutality, and I think with their type of power, speed, and everything, I think that they could win this match, and then they can go to Barcelona and possibly win the women's world heavyweight, win the BCW Women's Championship. International champion CJ Frost, leader of the Venom Club, going against Damian the King Briggs, the man who won the Ultimate Warrior gauntlet at Bound for Greatness. Interesting match. Damian Briggs, big man, powerful, and also CJ Frost, speed, power, agility, everything. Interesting match. Cannot give you a pick because I can see either one of them winning. CJ Frost is going to address the crowd tonight regarding the Craig Mack shooting, since he's part of the Venom Club. He's been getting a lot of pressure from the rest of the club on wondering what's going on with that. He wants to break his silence on that. BCW Women's Champion Alicia Landis is also going to address the crowd regarding her title win at Bound for Greatness and what's to come here for the future here for her. Chaotic is in the building. He is scheduled to be here tonight, along with the rest of the Mayhem roster in the back. And then the older brother of Craig Mack, Jeff Sylvia, is here tonight to break the silence on the actions that happen at Bound for Greatness. Now, there's no evidence to show that he is involved or is behind it or did it or pulled the trigger. We don't know. All we do know is this: family tension, bad blood. We all like to assume it is Jeff Sylvia, but at the end of the day, we just don't know. There's no evidence. As far as I know, the investigation's going on. The footage from the arena that night is still being pulled, and we will know more about it when the situation comes to light. So, everybody, please enjoy the show. BCW Mayhem coming to you right now from New Orleans, from Bourbon Street. We will see you in a few minutes.